Hey, everybody. How are you? Good to see you. Feels like it's been a minute. I'm Captain Tommy Scoville. You're on the lifeboat. The green screen is gone. Everything is gone. I've got a chair and I've got the computer sitting on a couple of boxes. Uh, so my entire house is packed. It took a long time to pack this entire house. As most of you know, I take care of my mom, and so there's all of my stuff, and there's all of her stuff, and there's stuff that my dad we hadn't gotten rid of from Papa Scoville. And so Johnny came in the other night. I picked Johnny up at midnight at the airport, and he helped me get everything packed. And we just wait for the for the movers, for the moving truck to pull up, and then the moving truck will load all of this stuff up into their big 18-wheeler, and they'll take off. And once they take off, the doors are shut. Then we pile into the cars because we've got a couple of them we got to move, and then we take off on a road trip. Sister Scoville flew in last night. Seeing as we had a little extra time, seemed like might not be such a bad idea. This has been an exercise in patience, and patience is something I've always been so good at. I'm kidding. I'm not worth a fart at being patient. It's been a struggle of mine for a really long time, and this is a different form of patience. It really is. We've talked about this ad nauseum on the lifeboat, but there's a level of stress that you get from moving that you don't get from too many other things in life, and this one has been really unusual because, for all intents and purposes, I had to pack this house on my own. I do throw the things out on my own. My mom's down for the team, but she's also not a particularly young person anymore. Hell, I'm not particularly young person anymore. I want to turn the sound off on this for a second. I want to do a big, massive shout out to Heather. This is a hard job to do a couple of shows in a row, and to do 4 of them in a row that's epic. It really is, and she did a fantastic job. I was really, really excited, and you don't have time to do anything. You're literally just running around and getting the last of everything, all put into order. And then there's paperwork that has to be signed because we're in the process of selling the one house, and the other one's already bought. So there's just this unbelievable backlog of paperwork, and it pulls you away from anything. So it pulls you away from business, and it certainly pulls me away from the lifeboat. And when I left, we were about 25 people less than we have now. The boat just keeps getting bigger. We're at 4,610 as of this morning, which is awesome. It's a really huge leap since I left. It's so I started going through emails this morning and trying to catch up. There's just so many of them. It's going to be if you sent me an email, it's going to be a minute. I'm trying to get through them, but it's hard, especially when you don't have. I had all this packed up, like all of this was packed up, and then when they didn't arrive yesterday, I started digging out the essentials. I also almost died eating a pepper yesterday, which is actually really funny. But I inhaled a pepper, which I've never done before. You suck something down the wrong tube. Well, I did that with a hot pepper. It was fairly entertaining, but it was a little bit uncomfortable. Let me see if I can blow this up some, peeps. Prayers for Charlie. Well, I know that I am a pinch out of the loop because I don't know exactly what I'm what I'm praying for, but I love Charlie. Charlie is Charlie's the lifeboat. It really is. Just the I don't know. Just he is the boat. Have I ever seen the guy that smokes a reaper out of a bong? I have actually seen that. I saw somebody hit a dried Carolina Reaper out of a bong. I never made a lot of sense to me, to be really honest with you, but I have seen it done. I'm not sure I can imagine that feeling on the inside of my lungs. Having felt that burn in so many different ways. He's in a hospital, minor surgery. I'm not surprised. I didn't realize that that's how it ended, but that's somewhat frustrating. That was an idiot move. Yeah, right? I mean, it doesn't get a lot stupider than that. Annette, good to see you. I'm glad that you're here. So I've been talking about being patient. The Here's the deal with patience, right? You're gonna there's no getting around the waiting. I'm gonna be here until that truck pulls up. Okay. And depending on when he pulls up, it could put me at a very late time of the day, in which case I would be leaving. I would probably crash out and then leave in the middle of the night. I accidentally aspirated peppers and it had me almost pass out from laxative. Well, that's what I did yesterday, Scoob. That's what I did yesterday. I was right in the middle of chewing up this huge pepper and I breathed in and it took all of the air out of my lungs. I can't imagine someone wanting to do that intentionally. I mean, if you want views that bad, you're, I mean, I do stupid stuff to get people to watch. I mean, we've all seen me vomit. Waiting can make or break me, Annette says. Yeah, I really, yeah, it's a very interesting way to put it. This has been frustrating for me on a lot of levels because I had, I got all of this laid out and all of this planned, and then on top of that, the my travel papers. So right now I'm spending travel days with the feds that I'm not traveling on, which sucks because it means less time setting up my new house. But all of this will work out. Like I said, the waiting is going to happen. There's no getting around that. The only thing that we have control over, right, is the 95%. Hey, thank you, Kathy. It's a nice thing to say. The only thing that we can control is the 95% of how we're going to deal with the fact that we have to wait, right? And that's the difference between patience and pissed off. And truthfully, I've been doing fairly well. Well, I hope that is the case, and I hope that your travels are safe, V. I hope that I hope it goes smoothly and that your travels are excellent. Anytime I have to wait anymore, I just do work for my next live stream. That'll give you plenty to do, won't it, Heather? Here's the thing, though, Heather. You prepare better than I do. Guilty as hell. We're going to let it slide this time. He says, sorry, I'm late. We're going to let it slide. This is when I recite the Serenity Prayer. You know what, Kathy? I don't know that she put an LOL after that. No, the Serenity Prayer is huge. I talked about it recently, and it really is absolutely huge. It's one of those things that if applicable, if it's something that you can apply in your life, it will change you. It will absolutely change you. The weight is going to be there. That's the 5%. Whenever this truck shows up, this truck shows up. There's not a damn thing I can do about that. So all I can do about it is how I react to the weight. She did, didn't she? Heather's a beast. And again, 4 in a row is hard. It's I say the Serenity Prayer almost around the clock these days. Really do. Waiting can be very rewarding, not necessarily because of the end goal, but because what we learn in the wait. There's a lot of truth to that. Stand for Truth says a lot of truth for that. Every time you are forced to either develop patience or become angry. No, that's not it, Heather. It's just that you have a better conscience than I have. That's what it is. And here's the thing. People say that a lot. I get that where people say, you don't do a lot of preparing. I spent 8 years. I really did. I spent 8 years preparing for this. And during the course of that 8 years, I wrote out probably 150 different shows that I wanted to get a message across in. And the truth of the matter is that our subject matter is, it's huge in scope, right? It's massive in scope, but there's only so many ways that you can approach it and so many ways you can talk about it. So after a while, it just becomes, I don't know, a bit of a recycle. I have a new subject matter to talk about, says V. Well then, let's see it. I'll do that, Scoob. Heather with a question mark. Okay. I was talking about Heather Joy is who I was talking about. Phases of the Moon V. I wrote the wisdom of patience at the beginning. Need it now. Traffic is 5 miles an hour. Oh, full of hope. I am sorry. Alcohol indifferent mouthwash. You know something, V? There is, I knew a couple of people. Back in the day I was in a rehabilitation center with, and one of them drank an entire bottle of mouthwash, which was a bummer. Scooby with Doobie says, Miss V, we get alcohol-free mouthwash, which I would recommend if you're fighting alcohol. I'm doing cardio, so my typing is sketchy at the moment. I have really fat fingers and don't spell well, so my so my typing is sketchy most of the time, Kathy. That's me. That is absolutely me. But there's I was super impressed with Heather in the last 4 shows. I did the one that I caught every bit of was the one on emotional support animals. And I'll tell you something. I used to swallow something to help swishing it, and yesterday my test my landlord gave me came back positive. Good Lord in heaven. He came back positive for alcohol? That is absolutely awful, V. Yeah, the alcohol-free mouthwash is pretty easy to find. Having addictions in a world where our government is thinning the herd with fentanyl. Yeah, Alf. Yeah, Alf, there's a lot of truth to that. And they are giving me alcohol. So yeah, V, we know you're not drinking. That's just absolutely stupid. I try. This is such a difficult thing to do because there are so many times that politics really do intersect with everything we're talking about, and I try very hard to shy away from the politics because I don't want to run anybody off, and I don't want anybody that doesn't agree with my political views or stance. I don't want to do any damage. I did 9 years of therapy dog work with my shelties. Sorry. Now my cat is crucial to my life. Kathy, my cat is crucial to my life as well. I forgot that AA was founded in Akron, Ohio, until I met a guy in Carrollton, Ohio yesterday. He had his Dr. Bob hat on. I love it. I love it. I really do. Well, those are great hats. Absolutely great hats. So, peroxide. Chris says peroxide, Miss V. Oh, Lummy, I'm glad to hear it. He says I told him about the boat. That's awesome. So I don't really want to do the politic thing. But yesterday, I'll tell you, this is something that I struggle with. This probably had something to do with my day yesterday. The television is still on the wall, right, in the house. The way the TV is, it's not technically like screwed into the wall. It's part of a big wooden thing. To make a long story short, it's not gonna. It'll be the very last thing I'm sure that comes off the wall. So we still have television, and um, cat the when you watch the news, it's shot with one camera, so it is something I can watch. I try not to, but Megatron, it's a great name for a cat. Yes, hand sanitizer can trigger positive on drug screens. That can happen. He's right. There's so much alcohol in it that there have been some unusual things that have happened with that. So yesterday, I'm watching the news or listening to the news while I'm sort of fixing up the last of everything, uh, and our president's son just made a beautiful deal for a couple of misdemeanors. I have never in my life seen anybody in the federal system prosecuted for a misdemeanor. It's never happened. Seriously, not in my lifetime. It's just not done. What's up, my dysfunctional crewmates? Sorry I'm a bit late this morning. Well, I am the head of this dysfunctional crew today. Anyway, she's actually a female Megatron. Okay, there you go. My cat is a female squirrel. And what's funny is one of the only things I have out is a cat carrier, like a cat carrying case that I'm going to be putting a squirrel in for the trip, and she's been sleeping in it. It's like about 3 days ago she just figured, you know what, this is coming, so she's been jumping into the thing and actually sleeping. So I hear that the president's son takes a deal for 2 misdemeanors, and one of the charges is possession of a firearm by a restricted person, and he got probation on that, which is really, really lovely. I got 8 years for that same crime, and yesterday it put me into a bit of a mood because it's literally the same charge that I got was a restricted person, owning being in possession of a firearm, and on top of that, he lied on a form, which is another. I mean, the fact that the guy did no time is one of those things that really. Squirrel is very smart, Ms. Alexander. Squirrel is a very intelligent cat. She's yeah, it's incredible, Kathy. But yeah, Squirrel's an intelligent cat. She definitely seems to know what's going on. See you all later. Going to my pre-trial. I'm sure they will treat me worse than Hunter. They will, Lemmy. That is absolutely going to be the case. But keep your chin up, man. Seriously, you know you're in the right. Yep. So good luck with that, Lemmy, and do keep us in the loop, please. Yes, Alf owns a cat. It's there's something very funny about that. Kelly Gerling, good to see you, Kelly. Dr. McCullough recommends a mouth gargle and nasal wash that helps fight viruses. It's alcohol free, uses iodine. Google Dr. McCullough oral gargle. Thank you, Kelly. It sounds safer all the way around. That's right. Guilty until proven innocent. You've been down this road before, I can see. If all of us here don't have at least some kind of ongoing or underlying dysfunction, what are we even doing here? Wouldn't be right whatsoever. Couldn't agree with you more, especially considering the guy sitting in the captain's chair is hellaciously dysfunctional. Yes, she's not making. He's not making plans to barbecue it. Hopefully, V. That would be good. Scooby has 2 cats and 3 turtles. Boy, that is a gaggle of animals. I've been considering getting another cat, getting a little plaything for Squirrel to hang out with, but we'll see. I'm considering it. The same pistol he dumped into a grocery store dumpster. I missed that one, guilty. Or Steve. Yes. Yes. Sorry, guilty. My brain farted. I know what you're talking about now. Yes, it's exactly what it is. That's yet another felony. How he what he did with that is just incredible. Dysfunction junction crossing. Dysfunction junction. What's your function? Come on, anybody my age remember that one? Anybody? You have a pet black widow. Well, that's just wrong. I'm a little frightened, to be honest with you. I understand that, John Doe. Guilty even after case dismissed. Fluoride toothpaste is very dangerous, says Chris, and I would listen to Chris. Stand for truth. It's Schoolhouse Rock, says Alf. Good. Well played. That was the greatest stuff in the world. I don't know why they ever stopped that. Schoolhouse Rock was incredible. It really was. I know that fluoride is the number one. Yeah. Fluoride is the number one ingredient in what is that stuff called? That big SSRI that everybody is using. Trish, good to see you. Prozac. Prozac is almost all fluoride. Yeah, you need to ask him. That would be a dysfunction junction is a great name. It really is. And anybody our age, see, loved Schoolhouse Rock, says Zeke. Yeah, anybody our age would absolutely love that. I'm not your age, and I know Schoolhouse Rock. I think you might be. Oh, no, you're not my age. You do know Schoolhouse Rock? I'm shocked. It's been off for a long time. Fluoride. Annette, yes. We have 5 turkeys running around with our chickens now. One is marked for Thanksgiving, but I love them. Yes, well, you can pardon the rest, right? Let's talk about mycoplasmas. I don't know what that is, John Doe. I'm out of my element. I have no problem talking about just about anything, but I have no idea what that is. Zoom. I do remember Zoom, and I remember the electric company. Great shows from back in the day. I was also pretty big on Captain Kangaroo when I was a kid. I was a big Captain Kangaroo fan. 2 more weeks until I adjust down on Suboxone again. After that, I'm off completely. A little scared, to be honest. That makes sense. Kelly, that makes sense. Here's the deal. If you get all the way down there, John Doe, you're funny. If you get all the way down there and it doesn't feel right, you're not phasing off of something. Doesn't mean that you have to hold your feet to the fire and say, "Oh, I'm not, I can't go back. I'm feeling like I'm going to use, but I'm off that. I'm off that." If you start to get the feeling like you're in a bad place, just start back up. Start slowly. You might get back to a quarter of a strip for a while and then, go off again at a slightly slower pace. But if you start feeling like you're in danger, there's no harm, no foul to instantly getting back into a safer position. There's nothing wrong with that at all. John Doe, one of my hens had a mycoplasma infection. Took months to kill it. Romper Room? Remember Romper Room? Smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. Don't tell me I got nothing to do. Sorry. Loved Captain Kangaroo. Mr. Green Jeans, the bunny rabbit that wore glasses. Bunny rabbit that wore glasses. HR Puffin stuff. Alf, I can blow your mind right now. I can blow your mind. I'm going to tell you a story. So if anybody anybody here remembers HR Puffin stuff. HR Puffin stuff was a show by Sid and Marty Krofft that was made at the end of the 60s and showed into the 70s. Very, very unusual show where there were a lot of I don't know what you call it. Oh, did that really happen? Did Captain Kangaroo get convicted? Oh, that hurts. I didn't know that. Oh man, you talk about just trashing someone's youth. That's just awful. So HR Puffin stuff. So can I, Kathy. Absolutely, I can absolutely still sing Huff and Puff. So HR Puffin stuff. Years later, I was working as a public speaker, and they were having an auction of memorabilia from different television shows. And myself and a gentleman by the name of Danny bought the talking pipe. The talking flute, rather, from HR Puffin stuff. And it had all the little devices underneath. It came in this little plastic case, and all the little things underneath would make the mouth move and the eyes and all the stuff that used to happen when it was in his pocket. Yeah, that was that flute. That's right. I had we had the talking flute for a while. We actually bought it for very little money. I don't know if he ended up with it or what happened because I don't have it anymore, but it was we did have the talking flute, which was a pretty big deal. I'm a huge fan of HR Puffin stuff. It was a great show. And yes, for all of you out there who are pot smokers, it was very, very heavy, sort of weed inspired, very 1960s, almost trippy acid kind of show. But it was a lot of fun. Really? My dad named me after the character Miranda in that show. Wow. Rick Smith, it was cool. It was actually really, really cool. Sigmund the Sea Monster. Yes. Guilty as hell says Sigmund the Sea Monster. Yes, I remember Sigmund. I can still sing that one too. Kathy says, I love cartoons still. Well, here's the deal on that. I think cartoons kind of went to hell in a handbasket, but the golden era of cartoons, like if I go and put on Warner Brothers, Roadrunner, that whole genre of cartoons, when Warner Brothers was doing their stuff, and it was Foghorn Leghorn, great cartoons. Electra Woman and Dyna Girl, Alf. I can't believe you just said that. Yes. Oddly enough, I think that show was on. Lost in Space was great too. Lost in Space was really great. But Electra Woman and Dyna Girl, if I'm not mistaken, came on right after Sigmund the Sea Monster. But I had a bit of a crush on both Electra Woman and Dyna Girl. It was right around that age where that just shouldn't have been on Saturday mornings. But yeah, I remember Electra Woman and Dyna Girl. I really do. It's so funny. Johnny Quest was Spanx, my son's favorite cartoon when he was a boy. He loved Johnny Quest. Yeah, I like the older stuff too. Even like old Scooby-Doo, versus the new stuff. Scooby put a nice heather. Let's see. Okay, sorry. I am Thundercats. Yeah, I remember Thundercats. I also remember Speed Racer. Speed Racer was a fun one when I was a kid. I had kind of a crush on Bullwinkle and Underdog. Underdog was fantastic. I loved Underdog. That's another whole set of cartoons that were just fantastic. Hong Kong Fooey. Back when TV had two knobs. That's right. That's right. You had to do the bottom knob was the VHF, and it would click 3 times as fast. Click, 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 click. I was the remote control when I was a kid. Papa Scola would say, "Get up, change the channel." I was the I was the Mighty Mouse Rocks. I liked Lost in Space too, although I got stuck watching what my brothers liked because they were older. Sure, makes perfect sense. I was the youngest, and 3 channels. Yeah, Kelly, if you were lucky, right? You had ABC, NBC, and CBS, and then maybe like a local. We had a fourth. We got this local Simba the White Lion. When the Addams Family was a cartoon and not a show yet. You know what? I think I don't even know that I ever saw the Addams Family cartoon. Oh, Kathy is a professional clarinetist. How cool is that? Kathy, how cool is that? We have several professional musicians on the boat. That's awesome. Emma Hunt is a professional musician as well. But Underdog had fantastic clarinet parts. I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. Yeah, I loved Underdog. Underdog was great. Yes, see, Emma Hunt is also a concert oboist and among a whole lot of other instruments that he plays really well. I love it. I really do. I'm telling you, eventually we're going to have at the rate talented people come on board, eventually we're just going to have a really excellent band. Rick Smith says, brother pays the sax. Pink Panther. Yeah, the Pink Panther was great. Another good one for Saturday mornings. You know, Saturday morning when I was a kid was like religion. You know what I mean? The cartoons came on and there was nothing more important. Thank you, M. Hunt. I love it. M. Hunt can play the bass, man. It's crazy. Yeah, kind of a trip down memory lane. There's a lot to that. Sorry. Pretty much all of my musician friends and best friends are alcoholics or drug addicts. I'll invite them. It seems to be there's something about um, performing in any way that just kind of lends itself to addiction. I don't know whether it's because it's probably a combo of a lot of things, but when you're performing and you're out there and you're doing whatever it is you're doing, and you have all of that adrenaline that just sort of props you up, and you feel like you're on fire, and it's just really a fantastic thing. And then it's over, right? And once it's over, it's really, I think it's tough on a lot of people. Cartoons and pancakes every Saturday, man. That sounds good. Boy, does that sound good. Deputy Dog, yep. M. Hunt says, Kathy, it's so pervasive in the creative and performance arts sector. I believe that. Kind of like what I was just alluding to. There's something about performing, something about being on stage, I think. Heather also plays instruments. Yeah, Captain Caveman. I do remember Captain Caveman. He had that club that really cool things would come out of the end of. Played French horn through college. See, look at this, man. Got all kinds of talent on the lifeboat. I played with bongs. Yeah, sadly. Although I have been learning to I tried to learn to play the piano and it just wouldn't work. So I've been working on playing the harmonica. Once the concert's over, it's time to unwind. Yeah, I get that. True. SNL absolutely was created and fueled by copious amounts of Coca products. No question. No question, M. Hunt. It was we would not have had SNL. Or if we did, it certainly would have been a lot different. It was really a time of a lot of blow and a lot of Quaaludes. Yeah. Still stuffed up, too. Can't wait to move. Played French horn through college. Awesome times. I'll tell you who had really hard parts. The Jetsons music is hard. Meet George Jetson. 714s. He says 714 lemons. I used to get the Roras a lot more, the 714 RORAs. That's funny. Get a sax, Captain. Pretty easy to pick up. I have problems with one hand. Is the problem, guy? I have one of my hands has some nerve damage, so I can. I can get it to move. I don't feel very well though, so I don't. It's hard getting pressure and stuff right. It's why I ended up on the harmonic. I figured that hand couldn't hurt me much. M. Hunt looked over the sheet music for Merry Melodies, and in particular Carl Fisher, who is a genius. I remember seeing that name so often. He must have written a bunch of their stuff. Kathy is driving and listening. Do be careful, Kathy. We don't want you to get into an accident or get a ticket. Either would suck. Yeah, please don't. So, AKA Heather Joy agrees with M. Hunt. I do too. Often, but certainly this one. Friend 810 and fell in State Park Lake. We were out there to save him. 10 Quaaludes? Good Lord. Good Lord. That is a lot of methaqualone. Who remembers BJ and the Bear? I do. I do. You know what, Scooby? I had a coffee mug that had some lemonade at the bottom of it, and I didn't realize there was lemonade in there, and I made my coffee on top of it, and I have had to choke it down. It's because it's so bad, but I need the caffeine. It's going to be a long day today. John Gindick's Country and Blues Harmonica for the Musically Hopeless, revised book and 73-minute CD. Good way to learn. Nice. I will look into that. For real. Yogi and Boo Boo. I have said a long time ago that, and I will go on the record, that Yogi Bear had a drug problem. Yeah. Seriously. Watch it and tell me that he wasn't a very early cartoon version of the junkie. He would sleep till noon, right? Every day. He would sleep until noon. Carl Stilling, who did most of the music, and it was near impossible to sight read at that time. Carl is another name I remember too. And that says, I don't like Yogi and Boo Boo. Maybe because it's you realize that he was a junkie. He'd sleep till noon. And then before it was dark, he would rip off every single basket in Jellystone Park, and he had that junky attitude. You know what I mean? Like Boo Boo had his life together. Yogi was a narco junkie. See, Kathy knows. Boo Boo would do that. Being the little voice of conscience. Don't take that picnic basket, Yogi. And then Yogi goes with the full on, junkie mentality. Hey, if we don't steal it, boo boo, somebody else will. Right? That's just junkie stuff right there. You could not convince me that Yogi was not strung out. Canada got rid of Smokey Bear. Really? Yeah, see, M. Hunt knows. Yogi was a straight con man, plain and simple. No question. And I am thoroughly convinced. All he wanted was he wanted that picnic basket. He had a habit. And he's definitely a con man. Always in the hair of the police, right? He's always in the Rangers' hair. At a picnic table, you will find him there. Only you can prevent wildfire. Well, that's a lot of pressure on you, especially when you're a kid. You see those commercials, and you're like, "Damn, man, I gotta get out there and stop stuff from burning. It's only me. I'm the only one that can do it." Way too much pressure. Way too much pressure. Green Acres is the place to be. I love singing Bulgarian folk songs in Lesnoto rhythm. Yogi was evil. Scooby knows. We had McGruff. He was the crime dog. Take a bite out of crime. Sadly, I didn't listen to McGruff. If I did, probably be a very different life. But I was when I should have been listening to McGruff, the crime dog, I was listening to Up in Smoke by Cheech and Chong. Give a hoot, don't pollute. Yep, remember that too. No pipe for Mr. Potato Head now. They got rid of the pipe for Mr. Potato Head. That's probably a good thing. See, John Doe says, I liked Yogi. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that liked Yogi. I was not anti-Yogi. I just think he was a junkie. But it has to do with gender equality. I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. I remember the Dare Lion. Dare as in drugs are really excellent. I mean, the Dare stuff that they used to come in and teach you in schools. Oh, terrible stuff. They pulled the plug on all of that. I didn't know they had a lion, though. They replaced it with vape. They don't use the lion anymore, apparently. That's because they were lying to everybody at their entire program. So the federal government made them get rid of it. Yeah, Dare was great. They would come in and tell you, you know what you need to do? You need to tell us if your parents are getting high. Just call the police and tell them, Mom and Dad do drugs. That was a twisted program. The Dare thing was just really, really awful. Keep on knocking, but you can't come in. Anyone? Yes. Dave's not here, man. With drug queen Nancy Reagan. Yeah, she tried. 3 syllables. Just say no. Gotta go, guys. Love memory lane trip. Safe move, Tommy. Thank you. Appreciate you, Alf. You know something? When this damn truck does show up and we get enough rest to ship off, I am probably going to be live streaming a crap load of this move. We're going to throw the cameras on, and because it's going to be me and Johnny and Squirrel in a car. And what could possibly go wrong with me and my brother Johnny and a squirrel cruising down the road? No, not smoking Indo or sipping on gin and juice. Yes, have an amazing day, Alf, says Blake Richardson. Trainee Human, good to see you. Thank you, V. I appreciate that. I really do hope that we have a. Anik says, sounds fun. Yeah. How far is the move? It's going to be 14 hours by car, nonstop. Go get yourself some cheap sunglasses. Oh, yeah. So go out and get yourself some thick black shades. Ew, says Kelly Gerling. Yeah, Heather Joy, it'll be 14 hours nonstop. With my mind on my money and my money on my mind. 14 hours by car nonstop. Holy moly. Yeah, you know what? It's not. 14 hours isn't bad. It really isn't. Looking forward to a Sober Brothers video. I'm at a red light. Nice. You see, she said I'm at a red light because she knows we're going to yell at her for texting if she's just letting us know that she's texting only while stopped at a red light. Not sure we believe you, Kath. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure that that's what you're doing. Undercover Angel, Midnight Fantasy. Yes, well, it is a lot more fun on a jet, Miss V, but I will not be doing the big old jet airliner. I will be doing the little old Toyota Prius filled with watches. Trainee human. That's a great comment. Great comment. I am in absolute agreement with you, trainee human. Heather's stuff has been fantastic. Chemtrails in Arizona too, says John Doe. Damn it. Used to drive 12 hours every summer from Georgia to South Florida with 2 babies to visit family. Wow. That is horrible, Kelly. There was a time when I lived in Texas and I used to fill my car up with illicit substances, and I would drive from Houston, Texas, all the way to Vermont. I made that trip a lot, and I used to drive it alone. And it was about 17 or 18 hours. Yes, I will do everything I can to avoid accidents. I promise you, me. Ask Mr. B. That's where he lives. Mr. B. I know Mr. Ray Ray lives in that part. Boy, am I stuffed up. Oh, Annette, I love that. Well, Heather Joy, welcome to payday at the lifeboat. You have just been paid. It's beautiful stuff. It really is. Oh, coffee with lemonade. That's just not right. Here. Oh, MB333. All right. I agree with you, Scoob. Everybody here is loved. Great group of people. Absolutely a great group of people. So, I didn't talk a lot about patience, but I needed it. It took my 17 hours each way. It took him 17 hours each way when I went to visit Blue Dazzlebug. That is a long drive. I love my dog, except when he barks. Classic. Kathy says, love back at you, Scoob. Dig it. Rick Smith says, great videos. Not sure which videos, but if they have anything to do with the lifeboat. Oh, I think you're talking about Heather's videos. Heather's videos have been great. No question. Yep, Heather's been on fire. Your cat didn't get you your caffeine? You're not training your cat correctly. He's lazier than me. Maybe he needs caffeine so they can go get you caffeine. Okay. I really should be checking on the squirrel, but so the sun is up completely because now this time of year, I mean the sun is up. It's light out. Anyway, I will be waiting on the moving truck. When the moving truck arrives, I'm probably going to do a live feed, just a quick one from the phone to say the truck is here. Then we'll see how long it takes for the truck to get loaded up, and then Johnny and I will be on the road with Squirrel Nut Zip Zip, and we will be broadcasting a good chunk of this. I promise. From the road, we're going to broadcast, which should be good for a laugh because my brother Johnny is he's a funny guy. He's a funny guy. So before we go, and I don't know if she's still here or not, but this baby right here is for Heather Joy and all of the effort that Heather has been putting in on the boat. Heather, thank you. The lifeboat would be in real trouble right now if you weren't here doing what you're doing, pulling your weight and a lot of mine at the same time. Pepper Challenge is on the road. It could happen, John Doe. My brother does look like me, doesn't he? Except he looks a lot older. Well, he is a lot older. Yes. One's for Heather. That particular one for me is thanking God. Because she's Heather really has done some amazing stuff. I will not be doing the Death Nut or any of the Tube of Terror. I know that Johnny's got a couple of Tubes of Terror with him, but I will not be doing that while driving. Yeah, positive vibes and prayers for Charlie. Oh, Heather, you are here. I'm glad that you were here to see that, Heather. Good stuff. I don't know what is up with Charlie, people, but you know what? If Charlie needs prayers, please. He means a lot to me. He really does. He's I can't think of the lifeboat and not think of Charlie. That's just the truth. I will literally sleep almost all day if I don't get some caffeine, I assume. Boy, I would love to sleep all day today. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate that. Charlie is the best. There's no question. He really is. The whole early crew, the new crew, everybody. It's just been... I don't know what's up with Charlie. I just know that people have asked me to pray. He's getting throat stretched and something else. Oh, wow. Just a procedure he's going through today. Got a hold of me earlier. Thank you, Miss V. Charlie is awesome. There's no question. Yeah, I will take the the Bon Voyage. I will take it. I'm telling you, people, I did a lot of dirt in this town, and as I get on that freeway, and I look in the rearview mirror, and it's going to say Reno, right? Reno, Tahoe, all of that, and I'm going to see that disappear in the rearview mirror, and it's going to be, it's going to be one of those moments. Need a primary again so I can figure out. I think I'm developing that one sleep disorder that makes you randomly pass out for hours. Narcolepsy. I believe that is called narcolepsy. All right, we will see you later, Miss Faces of the Moon. Bye, Ms. V. You be good, V, and be safe. Keep us in the loop, eh? Yes, thank you, Heather, for all that you do. You have been absolutely fantastic through this move. And Kathy, thank you for sharing today. It's I love learning more about people on the boat. It's great to have another professional musician. Now we're really getting we're going to have an orchestra. We just need about another 10, 15 years. Have an entire orchestra. A lot of drugs around music and performance. Hunt, I think, summed it up. Okay, Miss V. Thank you, Annette. I'll take those hugs. So, peeps, we're about 4 minutes left before the end of the show. I am going to be happy moving day. Thank you, Hazy Giggles. I am going to be broadcasting as I roll out of here. You people have been you've been here through all of it, right? So the we'll say goodbye to this cabin here. The new lifeboat will be underway, under sail in the next 2 or 3 days. So my legs get tingly. Should I worry? I would get them looked at in that. I would definitely talk to a doctor. But I mean, that the older you get, that is something that's kind of normal. And Heather Joy could probably tell you more. She's a lot smarter than I am. But I would just talk to a medical professional. It's true, Kathy. I've seen people do that. Claim narcolepsy just from nodding out. All right, peeps. I'm going to go and start this day proper. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Thank you, DJ Daddy-O. So one more time, everybody. I'm putting up that one right there. That's for Charlie Mullins. And this other one right here. That is for this second one that I'm putting up there is for Heather Joy and all she's done for the boat. Much love, Heather. Thank you so much. And Charlie, we're with you. All right, everybody. I love you, and we're going to be on the road here shortly. I'm Captain Tommy Scoville. This is the lifeboat. Probably the last time from this location. Giggity.